Ah, can't solve world hunger in 4 days. What am I gonna do? So today I actually want to talk about project management and why I think it's important even for a solo project. Here's my situation. I have a game demo coming up this weekend, and there is no way I'm gonna finish everything I had planned. Like I had some burnout, I got sick for a while, and all kinds of other setbacks got in the way. In situations like this, it's really beneficial to change what you're going to deliver in the release. What might be your highest priority overall could just not fit in this given release, and so you might want to schedule that for later. And that's exactly what I'm going to be showing today using my spreadsheets. This right here is a raw log of work, and so everything that is planned and everything that's done is all in the one sheet. And so when I finish a task, when I start a task, I'll come here and put in a started date. When I finish it, I'll add completed. I'll estimate work as much as makes sense, and then put in the actual amount that it took me to do. And there's some categories, and I've got like a thing here to show me what percentage of the project was what type of task. But what I want to focus on today is release planning. This is actually something that I just added to the spreadsheet. So I added this release column, and right now there are two possible values, version 1 and version 2. I've got a spreadsheet, a separate sheet here, which is a pivot table, filtering to just things that are in release 1 that are not completed. The big priority of this is actually getting trailer footage recorded. And so when I go through this list, I need to be keeping in mind that my priority is like polish for the trailer. It's not anything else but that. I want to do all of these things, but some of these have to come out. And the things that stay are going to be things that are really important for a quality trailer. So I'm looking at this list of things, and the first thing that comes to mind is like things related to the nightclub. So I've got only one stage fully implemented right now, and it's this canal stage. And even this still needs some work. I think it's this one. Yeah, I do have a nightclub stage that is like modeled, but it needs a lot of work in assembly. And so as much as I want this done, by the time I reach that demo, it's just not going to happen. So I would much rather have a more polished single stage than to have two stages that are not very polished. And so the first pass of this is going to be getting rid of things that relate to the nightclub. Those are still in the backlog, but they don't have to be in release 1. And so if I come here and do a filter view, this will show me only the things that are in release 1 that are not completed right now. And let's look for the nightclub stuff. So assemble nightclub, that was estimated for 6 hours. It's going to be moved to release 2. Adding the lights for the nightclub, also going to be moved to release 2. That was estimated for 6 hours as well. Stage selection. I don't need stage selection if I only have one stage, so that's going to be moved to release 2. All right, so that's the nightclub stuff. We'll take a look over here and see what that did. So that's 17 hours. Still not manageable, but it's getting better. So what would be the next some next things that I could take out of this list? The sideways camera, I would love to have this, but I think I'm just gonna move this to release 2 if I do it at all. The main menu rework, I really wanted to do this, but it's just not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna look at the main menu in the trailer. As a matter of fact, you don't even really show menus in trailers. So this one is gonna be moved, and this represents a big chunk of work. And then in general, I can look at the lower priority things and start moving things that are lower priority. So let's see where we are now. 8.6 hours a day. This is still not quite where I need it to be, but this is getting a lot better. I got a much smaller list of items to look at now. Another thing here is that these here are actually mislabeled. These don't belong in the release at all. So these are collaboration and marketing related things. Like these are related to actually making the trailer and then engaging with a PR company. Um, which is honestly they should have always been in release too. Now, if we look at the release, we've got 6 hours a day. So this is a much more manageable list of work to complete by the time the demo is. And so I really wanted to show this right now because without a system like this, it is so hard to figure out what you're going to work on next, what you're going to prioritize. Um, and when you're overloaded with work, it's really easy to get stuck in a cycle of just thinking like, there's too much work to do. I just need to do more work. And really what you need to do is reduce the amount of work on your plate because if you're, underwater in terms of how much work you've got to do, it affects your mood and your productivity is going to decline as a result. Or I guess I can speak for myself. This is pretty common though. If you believe that you are way too far behind, it's really hard to stay motivated without losing a lot of productivity. And so, in just a couple minutes, I was able to take a lot of work off my plate and turn this into something that is not stressful, something I'm going to be motivated to keep doing all the way through without putting everyday life stuff on the back burner, without sacrificing any breaks and stuff like that. So now I'm like, cool, I can work with this. So I'm curious, what kind of stuff do you do to like track your work and figure out what your priorities are supposed to be? Let me know in the comments. If you think this is helpful, if you would like to use something like my spreadsheet, let me know and I'll spend the time to make it useful for other people and get it shared. And as always, thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you next time.